D.Long4Mayor, what's the word, man? What's the word?
What's good, man? What's good?
Now, bro, it's a lot of people. I know they see you around a lot. They might come to your store. They might been to the studio and all that. But like for the people that don't know, who is D.Long?
Well, today I'm really here mostly just to talk about the music, but my main thing is the store. That's where most people know me from through resale, buy, sell, trade, and through, my brand and Hitman and ISD, just everything that I basically kept shifting from over the years. And I guess you could just, D-Long is just what people gonna have to call me because I don't want to be called Hitman, but at the same time, that name was just given to me off back in the day of hooping, so I really just had to run with it. But my government, Darren Long, is just probably what I'm gonna put on everything, like when I do all my credits and stuff.
All right, bro. So knowing like what really got you like notarized by a lot of people and seeing that you get into a lot of music now and been into the music scene for the past couple of years for real. What got you into the music scene or what got you into the music business for real?
Which I really been in music. Started off making beats. Used to kind of dip and dab. Thought I was gonna rap, but that didn't. That was short lived. That was in high school, but definitely always been in music. Starting off with throwing the shows, but I'm staying currently. I'm really settling with the engineering, so that's exactly my lane with it right now, and running the studio. But been in music since forever. I just had to figure out how to keep constantly making money from it. Cause really, it's in the music world. Unless you're gonna be a rapper or A&R, anything else that you be in, you gotta be in that room. You gotta do other things to make money. I don't want to say, kissing ass and, sucking dick, but that's really what it is, mainly to get in music. So I just want to I had to figure out a way to make money constantly in it, but still have something that I can do and grow from and actually learn something so I can, because you can be an engineer when you're 50 years old, 60 years old. You're going to make money. You can make the same amount as a doctor. So I had to just gets embedded in a way in the studio for show, already doing numbers, so I'm for sure embedded in now.
I seen at one point you was messing with the management side of stuff.
Yeah.
How was that experience on the music with the music?
Man, the manager, man, that was a challenge. I still technically am a manager because I don't give up on nothing, but it was just a challenge because you dealing with people life, their ego, who they are, what they had coming in before, and you basically somewhat of a second guardian parent type thing, especially depending on how old the person is. So I don't think I wasn't ready for that time period, but I'm not done with it at all though.
So you feel like it's still something that you'll get back into
Nah, for
at
sure.
some
I
point?
still am speaking on people's behalf, but I just ain't like it ain't no for sure thing. Like I ain't committed.
All right, bro. So as far as getting into owning your studios and all of this and getting your own studio building and stuff, like what was the process like with that? And cause I know you getting ready to open a new studio. So like speak
Yeah.
on the process of like all the studios you don't have so far.
So the old studio was on 1960. That's the one that pretty much everybody knew about. And it used to be my store before I moved to the mall, so that just kind of evolved into that. So that wasn't as a big of a project as this is now, but that still was enough. It generated enough profit and revenue for me to eventually move on to where I'm at now. But I just moved into a warehouse that's gonna be more than just a recording. It's gonna have three studios. It's gonna have basically a full event space for it's 5,000 square foot. So that tell you something that right there. It's gonna be huge. It's huge. It's gonna really have a lot to offer for you can really get the whole services of a label for real, like the whole nine, as far as videographers, producers, engineers, photographers, um, backdrop. You can pull cars in. It's gonna have pretty much the whole nine. I probably won't do a podcast room, but you can still use the rooms as however you want to use them. But that process still in the works. It just take a lot of capital to get it exactly how I want it to be and how being completely professional for it to actually be timeless. I don't want to just do nothing short lived like the rest of these studios doing.
All right, bro. So I had seen somewhere in another interview you had mentioned something about you getting into engineering because other engineers are still your customers.
I mean, it was inevitable. Like I seen it coming before I even did the studio, just based off how people is. But yeah, engineers was running off with the customers, running off, basically taking them to their house and uh taking them to, selling them dreams on different stuff, breaking money out of them on acting like they gonna mix and master, doing all type of janky shit. So I just had to fully lock in and just actually, I already knew how to record and press. That's what niggas be thinking they doing, pressing. That's what really people be doing, just pressing record and stopping. That's anybody can do that, but and there's a lot of people paying for that. But I just had to completely, fully become a in the music world as a artist from that, so that the studio could grow.
What you go about doing, like getting engineers now for your studios?
I really just wait on people to call. The line always open. I ain't really looking for nobody, but um mostly people call from coming in from out of town. If so far the new engineer's been from out of town, so I just been waiting. I don't look. I always make the wrong decisions when I go looking for people, so I'm just waiting on people to call.
I know that it's like two different lanes, but coming from like the clothing lane, what's something that you took from that you use in the music lane?
Shit, the fact that it's all art. It's all art. It's basically, I knew in the clothes lane and shoes and stuff, for sure. Number one, I'm on the north side. Ain't nobody really doing nothing in a creative way. So I just tried to like basically make the studio aesthetically pleasing to make the money. It might have not had the best equipment and the best artists came through there, but I made sure that the place was decorated nice. That's what came from the clothes and fashion. The place was always decorated nice. People always wanted the book so that they can have photo shoots, podcasts, do their video there, or just even do trailers and stuff. So that put me ahead as being a new engineer by just having an aesthetically pleasing place because I already had style.
And wasn't the zebra like? Isn't that like something that's part of the brand? Like the
Yes,
zebra print. Wasn't that in the first studio?
it's not gonna be in the new one, I don't think, but I'm gonna just let that go all the way into my clothes. But it was kind of just like a hitman thing in general.
So what's some artists that you engineered for?
Me personally, the biggest people that I have engineered for me personally, I had all different type of people come through the studio, but my biggest people was Nino Name, of course, and SME Tax Free. Both of them came through. Well, actually, Tax Free came through on his own time too, but he who introduced me to him, and then honestly, nobody else that's just big yet. I only been engineering for probably like 2 or 3 years, and I've been in and out because of the store and stuff. But the studio, we didn't have plenty of other big artists there. Yeah, like All Star Jr. We had him up there. We had I know. Oh, you be getting CEO Gucci a lot on here. He came up there. He come to the store too. Shout out CEO Gucci. We didn't had Cartel Bo stop by there. Just different people. Young Lyric came through there. Wap Beezy came through there. It's just been different people. Yeah.
All right, bro. So we spoke on the management stuff a little bit not so long ago. What's the update on y'all playing Magical? Like I know that was two artists that you was managing a minute ago, or if you still managing. Like what's the update on now in that situation?
I mean, Magical is a full. That project never gonna end. It's always just trying to improve how we gonna do the rollout. We just when we actually, I can't even give you a full like timeline on that, but we definitely still always working. She's still recording music, and we just trying to figure out how, because it's already been label talk and already been we already passed up on probably like 2 deals, because it was just awesome startup stuff. We was trying to kind of build up her portfolio and stuff more before we actually take anything, but Yeah, we did the whole 1501 talk, did the whole some more Houston talks,
Yeah,
and we wasn't really liking how the numbers was looking and how everything was looking. But with Yappa, he just kind of, he was people don't really know how young he was. Our whole
yeah,
era
I was
was he was like 17, 18, 19 through that little era, just start to finish like where it was. But he just kind of getting out of trouble a lot. Like I be trying to help, get out of the trouble, but just light stuff and who he run with, them and stuff like that. But he gonna be back too. He can get a modeling deal anytime. We got people in New York that want him, like that'll fly him out there. He just think it's weird and stuff. He don't want he think modeling like I'm telling him, bro, you can get a real good opportunity. Could have been in all over the world, but it don't pay that well. And it is he different. He ain't like all them fashion niggas and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So, but he got opportunities on the flow if as long as he can stay in his same weight and healthy, he'll be all right.
So what make you stay behind an artist and stay and stick with an artist through seeing like them trying to figure shit out for real?
It
Or would it ever be a point where you feel like you gotta split, you gotta cut ties type shit?
is long. I never want to cut ties as long as you don't do nothing to me, and as long as you don't lose your talent. And with them two, they can't like anybody who I worked with really just too. They got too much potential. I wouldn't have never worked with them if they didn't have no potential. So unless you just lose it or you just crash out, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it regardless. So you stuck. We locked in regardless. As soon as you lock in with me.
What's some of like the some of the best memories you got from like the first studio? Cause I know around that time you was doing the showcases too. You started doing showcases a lot back then. So like, what's some of the best memories from like around that time and that era of like the first studio?
So the showcases I had Luna Hookah Lounge. It was cool. We was turning over a profit. People was coming out. Artists was getting buzz. We was linking people, producers, everything, DJs that was getting their music played, that was performing. But it wasn't in a good location, so I had to keep trying to flip flop from different spots, and it just kind of got watered down. But I'm trying to figure out a new location that I actually can throw shows at the new studio, but it just depends on how the artists go about it and how I'm gonna do the staging and stuff like that. But the best thing about the old studio was the parties and stuff when we was throwing the studio parties and letting people do the shows up there. And basically just that was nostalgic because it was the first, I was in there from 2000 and want to say like 18 or some 2017. So it was just nostalgic, almost about to made like 6 years in there. So something like that as far as just being in that building. So it was just memories in the whole.
So bro, like overall, like speak on your life in general as far as like overall because bro, you like you really and then coming from Humble Northside area, you really one of the first young niggas to really like get in the store. Like you in the mall with a store. It's all type of shit you got going on, and like you really an independent black business owner and all of that. So like speak on like just everything, how everything been for real.
I mean, really like I don't like to be trying to flex and stuff. I be trying to stay humble and everything, but man, seeing the journey of going through getting into this high level of business, like I'm talking several $1 million in already without the fame, without the following, without having to shake too many hands, without having to cut people in, has been the biggest blessing. Just knowing that it's all in house, it's all learning all the different hats from. Man, you got to think like no accountant, no PR, no real knowledge of how to structure a business that's gonna have employees, and I have to learn about taxes, S corp, basically the whole spectrum of the IRS and how that is serious. And man, people don't even know it's state taxes, county taxes, federal taxes. You giving to the school, the hospitals. You having to do you got to do audits and just all type of things that they just let somebody else do, or you just hire somebody to do, and or you sold out whatever you doing to have to avoid them things. I'm glad I got to learn all of them things head on, take the L's, and just even with basically with staying in for this long and having a man, I don't even know where to go with it, but the process just been because I still call it a process because it ain't over. I got so much stuff on the way that you wouldn't even believe. It'd be even hard for me to just tell people what's going on, like, because it really don't even sound realistic, but it's really going on. I'm really gonna stay behind the scenes still, but I still want to come talk and let people know. But um, on the north side, just be ready because anybody who up here, anybody who want to work with any of the entities and stay down within the next 2 or 3 years, it's gonna be a movie. Like it's gonna be insane.
All right, bro. So what's your main goal with like this music stuff? 'Cause I feel like right now, from hearing like what you're saying, I feel like you got a goal, but like what is it for? Like what you really want to do with the music shit or get behind the music shit for?
So I want to make sure I can get to the highest level of engineering that I can with my time. I'm not that far because it's a lot to learn. But once you get your sound together, I'll go on with that. Then executive producing products, make sure I break some people. It sound light, but I mean, it sound like it's a lot, but I'm making it sound light. But I'm really trying to get on in the music separate than everything else, like as an engineer and as a manager, but as an engineer, but not a manager, like as over a management company, and eventually have other studios in other states, and basically a catalog of stuff that's being streamed and of artists, and potentially just somehow make it to where people can be independent and use my services and pay for them and still get on without having to outsource everything. Yeah.
So what would you say made you put the clothing and the fashion stuff to the back burner and kind of like push the music scene more?
I had to kind of because the warehouse it's I'm about 2 months in of being in there, so I gotta just open now, and I just did the rebrand in July, no, in the month before July, like the mid May. So now it's just that time, and my brand didn't get to fit in the middle because I ain't have everything done with getting shipped from overseas. I got a new supplier, so I've been getting a lot of new jeans and stuff from a new country. So that's coming in slow, but I kind of just had to push the music forward because it's that time now, and I'm ready to just actually get in the public eye. The business, you don't need to be in the public eye; it's gonna go on, but the music, you got to keep putting it in their face. So I can't let up for too long.
Who's some people in the music lane that you feel like you will model your style after or your whole like your whole, just everything after, if anybody?
Gazi, but he ain't an engineer, so um, Gazi probably got the closest thing that I want as something like 300. I mean, something like Empire. My bad. Um, or probably I want to eventually be like P, like QC, like Coach K, like some like I want to say what's bro name from Houston who worked with Travis Scott and Drake and all of them. I forgot his name, but he worked with Kanye. He worked with everybody. But he an
The
engineer.
white dude though, now I know you're talking about. But I know you're talking
Mike
about
Dean.
Mike. Yeah,
Mike
I'm about
Dean,
to
you
say
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Some Mike Dean type, um, just something like that. Like, somebody that is in credits, but ain't just in your face, I ain't trying to just be in everybody's face. Still trying to be behind the scenes, but just enough, enough just to know what it is.
All right,
Type
so do
shit.
you plan on bringing Yappa and Magical back? Out the vault, or do you go into different artists and dive into other artists?
I'm trying to get a producer and a videographer and an engineer right now, all three of those things, because I know I can make them money right now. If I find a good producer, engineer, and videographer, all three of those I know I can guarantee them to make over 100K a year, because that's how much I know I can get clients coming in and out for them and put on for the name and just basically start a new wave, because it ain't really none out here that's putting that face to it. Like they more, all the videographers, um, producers and engineers kind of be like on the computer, be, yeah. I'm trying to push somebody that's gonna make that transition to make them a personality, like that. Yeah, rap is just a little too difficult right now.
Every new artist coming up gotta tap in, bust down. You gonna get out quick.